What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Real Valladolid, where Barcelona came away with a 7-0 victory, scoring 7 or more goals in the league for the first time since 2018 and winning a game by more than 7-goal margin for the first time since 2016. And we're also going to be discussing 5 key things that we've learned from this match, and you could also maybe imply as well for the first 4 games of the season so far. Again, all the hype right now is around Hansi Flick, the way he's changed the team, the style, the model, the effectiveness, and we're going to discuss that in this video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's firstly discuss the tactical approach that Hansi Flick had set out for this match. Again, starting lineup wise, I did of course predict it exactly in the match preview in terms of personnel, but again, the style was a bit different, and this is going to be thing that we learned number 1, and that is Hansi Flick's ability to adapt to a low block. The Valladolid manager came out after the game. He was asked, did you guys approach this game very similar to what you did against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu? He said yes. The issue was Hansi Flick knows how to beat a low block and beat a low block effectively, and we saw that in this game based on the positioning of the players during the match. On the left hand side, you can see the pitch of the players in the starting lineup. On the right hand side, where the substitutions did come in, of course, your Sergio Dominguez, your Fermin Lopez, your Eric Garcias, Ferran Torres. But on the left hand side, that's what we're going to mainly focus on, and that is how Hansi Flick attacked Valladolid from a narrow approach. He only had Lamine Yamal out wide as his only winger on the right hand side, and that's why we saw Barcelona use that right hand side a lot. I talked about in the match review yesterday that Balde wasn't getting involved too much because everything was going down that right hand side, and that is why Balde's on that whole entire flank all on his own throughout the whole entire 90 minutes. You can see also the positioning of Raphinha, and where is he? Basically playing as a left striker beside Lewandowski. Of course, Dani Olmo playing in the 10. You had Casado deep and everyone else kind of in the position that you expect, but that was the approach. He wanted to go more narrow through the middle and through the left hand side and have Lamine Yamal as the only wide threat. That way, when Lamine Yamal got the ball on the right hand side, everything would shift towards him, leaving the left hand side, i.e. Raphinha, open. Of course, in possession, you rely on individual brilliance like Cubarsi's pass to Raphinha to get goals, but that was Flick's approach, to approach it more from a narrow standpoint, to open up Valladolid that way, because of course once you get goals, the floodgates will open, they'll be more relaxed, and they will of course want to push forward, try to nick something, and of course that made it super difficult for them to achieve anything in this match. Now, in terms of the statistics going into this game, we had 71% of the possession, we had an expected goals, an XG of 3.48, and that is absolutely mental, creating 10 big chances. Again, we talked about this in the match review as well, and I'll mention it right now. Flick approached this game with the tactics to win this game 10-0. He coached a 10-0 game essentially. And if you think about Dani Olmo hitting the post twice, Lewandowski hitting the post once, those final balls in certain areas in certain moments not fully connecting, this easily could have been a 10-0 game. I think 7-0 would have been a generous scoreline for the amount of chances and that Barcelona did have in this game. And it shows how Flick's approach of going narrow in the middle was super effective. 23 shots in total with 10 corner kicks, only committing 6 fouls as well. 595 passes in this game with 11 free kicks of course taking place, and you can see the heat concentration map on the right hand side there, and again confirms that narrow approach where you have the green area the brightest in the center of the pitch. And of course, out of the 10 big chances that Barcelona did create, we managed to end up converting 6 of them. That's a 60% success rate, which of course is very difficult and very effective as well. A lot of through balls for the Barcelona in this match as well. 41 touches in the penalty area as well, which shows Barcelona's main dominance throughout the game. Again, you can also see the concentration of where the match did take place for the majority of the game. You can see half of it took place in the halfway mark, 38% in the half of Valladolid. In terms of accurate passes, Barcelona had 546, with 123 of those passes being completed in the final Third, you can also see as well the duels won, where Barcelona are very successful in that. The tackling as well is going to be fairly low since there was not too much defending to do in this match. And of course, it was just dominance from Barcelona. And again, it all sets out to how Flick mainly approached this matchup. If he approached it a different way, yes, it would have been maybe a lesser score line, but the result would have been the same. But the way that he understood how Valladolid would approach this game following their performance against Madrid, that's also a big blueprint as well. If Valladolid didn't perform against Madrid, would this result would have been the same? I would disagree. I think him having something to go off of for this game, the lower teams in La Liga, the 10th and below, they're very consistent in how they do approach certain matches. So with that blueprint being there, of course, it was an important factor in this result. So overall, first thing we learned in this game is how Flick can adapt to certain models, is how Flick can adapt to certain teams in La Liga to benefit Barcelona more so than playing his own style. He likes to look at the opponent firstly and see how he can easily beat them and find their penetration points and then implement that into the team style. Now, the second thing that we learned in this match is Pau Cubarsi's ability to read matches. Of course, we've seen some of this last season, but this match encapsulates how good Pau Cubarsi is, not only on the ball, but most importantly, reading different situations. If you look at his stats for this game as well, only played 1 hour. Keep that in mind. So half an hour, no games played as well. Had 1 assist, 2 clearances, one total tackle, won all his aerial and ground duels, with them 1 being each. Only lost possession about 5 times, 79% touches, 94% pass accuracy, 1 key pass. He attempted 2 long balls. He attempted 3 long balls, completed 2, and of course created 1 big chance that ended up leading to the goal. You can also see there from his heat map as well, mainly playing as a right center back, but look how far up he is on the Heat as well, basically playing on the halfway line for the majority of the hour that he was present for in the game. Look, we know the ability of Pau Cubarsi. Of course, we were introduced to this last season when Xavi gave him the chance after the Copa del Rey game in January, I believe it was. But again, in this game, we saw him being able to read situations very, very well. For example, when balls are coming in over the top, the second balls, we saw him winning a lot more of this in this game. And we saw Pau Cubarsi struggle with this, of course, in the first 2 games against Valencia and Bilbao. Of course, I was very critical of his performances against Vallecano. He really came into it. We saw a bit of the Pau Cubarsi from last season, but this game encapsulates his ability on the ball, how good he is, and also you could even say the competition that we do have at center back. Because once Araujo and Christian come back, there's going to be some serious question marks on who will be the starting 2 center backs. Again, we know that Pau Cubarsi can do this on a consistent basis, but the guy is only 17 years old. 17 years old, performing at this at a high level means that the trajectory is only going to be going higher, higher, and higher. Not only is his ability on the ball being, touted out by Ernesto Valverde 2 weeks ago when he's saying, look, our game plan would have worked if Barcelona didn't have Pau Cubarsi at defense. That's how critical and how crucial he was to that game. But also you can see in build-up as well. If you look and watch back the game, which I have done just to, highlight this point, you can see Pau Cubarsi, his ability to read the game and see the passes quickly creates multiple chances as well. He's probably the first pass that starts an attacking run. For example, those little flicks that, I don't know if you guys remember, between Pedri and Dani Olmo, went wide to Lamine Yamal, the shot came in, I believe it was blocked, then Dani Olmo hit the post. That all came in from Pau Cubarsi's cut through line pass to Pedri. Being able to read those balls from, on the pitch is difficult. Of course, for me in the game, maybe for you as well, you can kind of see, like, okay, if you can find that space, that's good. But him seeing it on the pitch from his point of view as a player, there's, 9 or 10 Valladolid the white shirts in front of him, it makes it so much difficult, but it also highlights his ability as well. So as Pau Cubarsi gets more experience and is progressing at Barcelona, his ability to, of course, control the game and read the game from a center back is increasingly magisterial. Now, the third thing that we learned from this match is the growth of Lamine Yamal and how scary it is, not for us, but for Europe, because his growth over the past year and a half since making his debut for Barcelona is absolutely stunning, just like his performance was in this match, getting, of course, an 8.5 SofaScore rating. You can see from his heat map, of course, playing mainly as the right winger. He played, of course, a full 90. Well, he didn't play the full 90 minutes. I think he came off at the end for someone, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he did play the whole 90 minutes, but he got 2 assists. He had an XA of 5.1. He attempted 9 dribbles in this match, only completing 2, 62 touches, 83% pass accuracy. He had 3 key passes. He attempted 2 long balls, completed both, created 2 big chances, attempted 17 ground duels, winning 9, lost possession about 16 times, but again, for an attacking player, you do kind of expect that. Where Lamine Yamal right now struggles a little bit, in my opinion, is that final decisiveness in the final third when he's taking on certain defenders. Now defenders are doing what? They're starting to double team him, and that makes him a bit more ineffective. Last season, he was just coming into the scene. He was just a new kid. Oh, another wonder kid from Barcelona. How's he going to turn about? There were only one man marking him. That's why he got into space so many times. But now he's being double teamed. It does make it a bit more difficult, and that's why that dribbling success rate is not as high as you would like, maybe from his perspective. But his growth is scary. I mean, his crossing now is becoming a trademark. His ability to run in behind and create space for the fullback is getting scary. The way that he cuts inside and creates space for the attacking midfielder and even the right wing as well is getting scary because teams, again, are starting to double team him. And when you get double teamed, what does that mean? It means one other player is going to be wide open, and Lamine Yamal is finding them. Whether he has that final edge and pass for the success rate is where the problem needs to tweak. Again, just like Cubarsi, 17 freaking years old. So it's only a rise from here. He's one of, if not one of the best right wingers in the world right now, and he's 17. Not only do you have longevity there, but you also have a higher ceiling to see. Again, Lamine Yamal, he's doing incredibly well. Again, the minutes that he's getting for his age are also scary as well, so hopefully Hansi Flick can back down and track back on those a little bit. But his growth as a player is getting ridiculous. Best player of the Euros, young player technically, but we all know he was the best player of the Euros as well. They just didn't want to give it to him and have both. Euro champion, put Barcelona on a pedestal last season. He probably carried us in a few moments as well. And now this season, he's making an mission, looks like it, hopefully, to bring Barcelona some sort of decent trophy this season. And again, if he just keeps going on this path, taking his time with it, and of course, making mistakes, because mistakes is how you grow. You can't just go and be perfect. There will be mistakes from Lamine Yamal, and hopefully he learns from those and continues to grow, because his growth right now is so rapid that it's scary for the rest of Europe, but not for Barcelona. Now, the fourth thing that we learned from this match is Dani Olmo's ability to connect everything on the pitch. What do I mean? To be the cornerstone for how Barcelona proceed in transition from the attacking phase into the final third phase, and we've been seeing that a lot. We especially saw it when he came on at halftime against Real Valladolid, but today, of course, he did continue that from the start of the game. Now, of course, Dani Olmo's SofaScore rating was at 8.2, and you can see from his heat map all over the final third, mainly, of course, in those central areas. But when he does favor one side, he will favor the right-hand side. Why? Because Raphinha is tucked inside on the left, so that left-hand side is going to be all ball day, and on the right-hand side as well, he has the ability to connect with Lamine Yamal and Jules Kounde. So in the match, he played 83 minutes, scored 1 goal, he had an XG of 0.43, he had an XA of 0.53, 54 touches, he had 94% pass accuracy, only misplacing 2 passes of the whole entire game that he played. He had 1 key pass, he attempted 2 long balls, completed both, created 1 big chance, had 2 shots on target, 3 off target, 1 block. He attempted 5 dribbles in this match and successfully completed 4 of them, which of course is the highest success rate than the one that Lamine Yamal hit the woodwork twice, which of course entails missed 2 big chances. He had 10 ground duels and won 6 of them as well. Lost possession about 1 time, and 9 times, and had 1 foul and committed 1 foul. Everyone's been talking about, Dani Olmo. Was he worth the money? Should we have gone for someone else? Is he a luxury signing? All this sort of stuff. We are now seeing why Deco and Flick both agreed to go and pull the trigger for him instead of, waiting for Nico Williams, so to speak. And we can see why Hansi Flick was the one pushing for him. Of course, Xavi always had interest in Dani Olmo. So did Joan Laporta when Joan Laporta was first elected as the Barcelona president. The players that he liked the most were Joao Felix and Dani Olmo. So we already knew that Barcelona already had that strong interest in him, but also the approval from Flick. Flick talks about a lot in his press conference. I know him from Germany. I know him from Leipzig. I know how good he is. I know how well he can play. I know how dangerous he can be consistently. Since we signed Dani Olmo, this is what he has been saying, because of course he's going to be in those registration questions. And we're seeing it now. That Dani Olmo, he's a natural 10. I mentioned this as well by match review yesterday. What we've seen a lot with Barcelona over the past few years is Pedri playing the 10. Maybe you'll see Raphinha there sometimes, but it's mainly been Pedri. What does Pedri lack? Of course, the decisiveness and the ability to score goals in the final third and read situation. Pedri's an 8. He's a controller. He likes to, dictate, create that pass that leads to a potential goal, not be the one that gives the assist or gives the goal. Although, Flick still says to him he should be scoring more goals with his ability because he's that good. And of course, you want to set that standard quite high. But yesterday, Pedri's performance is exactly what I expect from him week in, week out. Control the tempo, control the play, create chances. If you get a shot on target, get a goal, get an assist, that's only a bonus because now that role is going to be on Dani Olmo, and he does it to perfection. We've been screaming out for this for years now. A player like De Bruyne, a player like Odegaard, that in the pockets and spaces when he has a clear shot on goal, we'll take it. For example, we thought that Philippe Coutinho would be like this. The issue is he got stuck on the left wing or got stuck in deep in the midfield as an interior, and we never saw him truly play the 10. We saw him for a few games on the Kounde. He played alright. Then, of course, he got injured. That would have been a great example for this kind of player profile, so to speak. Dani Olmo is going to be a player that not only unlocks Pedri, but also unlocks the wide man because no one is safe. Each player has the ability to score, create chances, and we can see as well his lock-in mentality. Forward. Pedri's going to think more control. Of course, Pedri would make a great run against Vallecano that led to the goal. Sometimes he'll be more conservative, but that's just his mindset. His mindset is mainly control. See space. If you see the space, exploit it. If you don't see the space, come back, pass the ball out to Ter Stegen, and reset. But even if he doesn't see the space, then you're almost thinking run, go forward. We saw a lot on the right-hand side, him lose balls, but again, that comes with the risk of playing with number 10. Again, he's so decisive. He's so forward-thinking, and again, this could be one of the signings of the summer in terms of Europe, not just for Barcelona. Of course, for Barcelona, he's our only chance because he's our only signing this summer, but he is going to be that good. He's the player that fits in the role that Hansi Flick wants to play. Of course, if we had Xavi now, it would have been difficult. You're going to play him on the left wing. You're going to play him as an 8 because there's no real number 10 in the Xavi system unless he was going to, adapt if he got Dani Olmo. Who knows? But we know that Flick, 4-2-3-1, in the 10, he does want to have a creative midfielder that has forward thinking, can track back when needs be, and has the ability to link up play with his wingers and maybe his 8, and most importantly, of course, creating space for his number 9 playing alongside him, and Dani Olmo does just that. And the fifth and final thing that we've learned from this match is the leadership quality that Raphinha does impose. Of course, Jogo Bonito had probably his best performance for Barcelona, scoring a hat-trick, the first hat-trick of his career, and getting a perfect 10 out of 10 SofaScore rating. Now, I want to highlight his heat map. Of course, like I mentioned in the team review, he is going to be playing mainly as that left wing, left striker, but look at where he is progressing all over the final third because he is a creator. He is someone who wants to get involved no matter what. In the match, he played, of course, 90 minutes, scored a hat-trick, 3 goals, had an XG of 1.82, had also 1 assist with an XA of 0.50, had 5 shots on target, 1 shot blocked, he attempted 2 dribbles, completed 1, missed 1 big chance, 56 touches, 83% pass accuracy, 3 key passes. He attempted 11 crosses, completed 4 of them as well, created 1 big chance as well, attempted 3 duels, and won 2 of them. What we're seeing with Raphinha is something that has come as a surprise to a lot of people, and that is, of course, his decisiveness in the final third. Raphinha could have had a game like this, I can count maybe at least 4 times last season. The issue was, in the final third, he wasn't decisive. Again, he missed 2 big chances in this game, mainly the one in the second half, through on goal on the left-hand side. He shot it across goal with his left foot. The keeper made the save. He should be scoring that at an elite level. That's what we missed a lot from Raphinha last season. If you look at the match reviews that I've posted, I've talked about Raphinha, look at my season review video as well, what I say about Raphinha. Everything he does up until the final third is perfect, but in the final third, his decisiveness needs to improve, and we saw it today not be an issue whatsoever. And also, again, his leadership quality. He was very surprisingly selected as the 4th captain for Barcelona. Everyone thought that maybe Pedri would get it, Gavi, Lewandowski, maybe Kounde would have been the potential surprises. He plays so much, but it was Raphinha. And we've seen now from the clips behind the scene of, movie star and stuff like that on YouTube, of how much he is involved in the say-so, in the movement, and the progression of the team as well. That's the part that's come as a surprise. You've seen now him talking to the referees, making decisions, putting pressure on the referees. We see him, communicating with his teammates, getting involved, and we also saw what he saw after the game, what he said after the game as well, saying that this team has shown today why we don't need signings in the summer. Of course, the rumor was if Nico Williams came in, Raphinha would have considered his future, all that sort of stuff, and he's now saying there's one up on you. Of course, that could backfire. We win absolutely nothing this season because this is just one game. But again, he's having the mindset. And we know the size of Raphinha. Again, he's one of the most underrated players in football. The reason why he does not get talked about this much is because he doesn't get any goals or assists on paper. Of course, last season still got double digits in both goals and assists, but they'd be sporadic. Assist here, goal and assist here. Oh, Raphinha had a good game. Assist, goal, nothing, then assist and goal. He was very inconsistent in providing those numbers on a consistent basis for a player in the final third that plays regular. We, of course, saw him in that month of February and April, that stretch of 2 months where he was playing in the 10 on the left-hand side, and how good he really was. Because, again, like he mentioned after the game as well in his post-match press conference, what he needs is confidence from the manager. Xavi would always chop and change him. 1 minute he's at right, left, in the 10. At least with Flick now, there's a bit of continuity and there's a bit of structure to where he's going to be playing on the pitch, and he will build on that. Again, if he's just decisive in the final third, these numbers will stay the same. I guarantee you he'll get maybe a goal and assist per game, a goal, assist over the course of every single game. Of course, Lamine Yamal now has a G or an A in any of the 4 first games so far. So I think Raphinha will continue on that track as well if he is decisive in those areas. But again, his leadership quality is what's on the rise right now, and it'll also be very interesting to see how it changes once Araujo and De Jong come back, because of course they're ahead of him in the captain's order, so they will be speaking to the referee, stuff like that, if one of them is on the pitch, and we'll see how that does adapt to his performance and ability or not. But right now, I think the reason why he's performing well is not only because of his, of course, ability in the system, how well he's playing, but he also feels like he is the main man. So that was a match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Real Valladolid. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed, the tactical approach of Hansi Flick, the players' performances as well. Do you think Barcelona will continue this momentum after the international break? We, of course, tend to drop off after the international break after doing so well previously. Of course, leave me all your thoughts down below. And, of course, as well, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca. Yeah.